Hey everyone and welcome back to the channel. Okay, wow, where to begin with Andor episode 12? In this video I'll be sharing key moments from the finale, plus my reaction and theories, so be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments. Now, Star Wars at its core is about hope. From this to this, hope is the central theme which has continued to inspire people of all ages and backgrounds for more than 40 years. Diving into the Andor finale, and the theme of hope has been established and masterfully crafted across 11 episodes, yet Andor is different. As the tension builds and the pacing of the event swells, I find myself gripped by the drama. By the time the final episode of each arc has swelled to such a point and it's ready to burst, I'm on the edge of my seat. The Andor finale executes both perfectly. The first and second act are purposeful, tense, fearless, poignant, emotional, it swells. Finally, when the characters and story converge and the bomb is finally ignited, the explosive third act leaves its mark in a way only Star Wars can deliver. Nemik's manifesto. Finally, in episode 12 we get to hear some of the contents from Nemik's manifesto, and this sets the tone for the entire episode. Remember this, freedom is a pure idea, says Nemik, as a broken Bix is seen in her prison cell and Wilman starts building a bomb. Tyranny requires constant effort. It breaks, it leaks, it's brittle. Authority is the mask of fear. One single thing will break the siege. Remember this. Try. Never has Star Wars writing been this exceptional. For the greater good. In between the tension and chaos on Ferrix, we occasionally step back into Mon's situation on Coruscant. Now, this scene is very important. I think Mon is being very cunning. Mon asks her driver for some privacy, but I suspect Mon knows the driver is still listening in. Mon mentioned this in an earlier episode whilst talking to Luthen. I think Mon takes this opportunity to engage with her husband and plant the story regarding him potentially gambling with their money. This would lead the driver, and subsequently the Empire, to suspect the missing money was simply stolen and gambled away by the husband, and not Mon funding a rebellion. Well played, Mon Mothma. We also revisit Mon and her family in this heartbreaking scene where Mon, off-screen, has agreed to introduce her daughter and seemingly allow her to marry Davos Golden's son. As predicted in my Andor finale theory video, Mon does what all great leaders do. She sacrifices that which she holds most dearly for the greater good. Now, did her daughter's interests in the old ways make Mon's decision a little easier? This part wasn't shown, but the decision by Mon to lead her daughter down the same path as her couldn't have been easy. But nor do I think this is the play. I think Mon has another ace up her sleeve and is in complete control of the situation. Now, did Val give Mon the money she needed, and is this Mon projecting a normal life to anyone looking in? This sets up Mon's journey in season 2 perfectly. The revolution on Rick's Road. You could hear a pin drop on Rick's Road. That's of course up until the funeral procession starts early, catching the Empire off guard. The brass band brings people onto the streets and the crowds gather. Cassian, using this as a distraction, saves what's left of Bix. B2 projects Marva's hologram high into the sky, and what we witness is yet another stirring, inspiring and extremely impactful moment from this season. The Empire is a disease that thrives in darkness, Marva declares. It is never more alive than when we sleep. Perhaps it's too late, but I'll tell you this, if I could do it again, I'd wake up early and I'd be fighting these bastards from the start. Beginning to fear the power of Marva's speech, B2 is rushed and thrown on his side, but not before Marva can deliver her final words. Fight the Empire. One bomb ignites the rebellion and the true revolution explodes into life. In amongst the fighting, Dedra, looking for Cassian, finds herself at the heartbeat of the riot. She's eventually pulled to safety by none other than Cyril Khan. What's his aim here? I can see Cyril becoming a spy for Dedra in the hunt for Cassian in season 2. He surely has some credit with Dedra now, but I think Dedra knows him all too well now and could manipulate Cyril into doing her dirty work. Cassian leads a broken but resolute Bix to the escape ship, where those who can't turn back await their arrival. Cassian declares he will find them in another heartbreaking exchange with B2. As Luthen takes his turn to exit the battle and boards his own ship, we are still left unclear on who Luthen really is. What are his motives? Is he a Jedi? His smile at the end of the episode would suggest he is just a good guy, burnt by the Empire 15 years ago and looking to start a rebellion to exact his revenge. But that isn't the entire story. I guess we'll have to wait for season 2 to find out more about Luthen. Upon arriving back at his ship, Luthen finds Cassian waiting. "You came here to kill me, didn't you?" Cassian asks. "You don't make it easy," Luthen replies. "You will now," says Cassian as he directs Luthen's attention to a gun. Luthen picks up the gun and Cassian, a man ready to sacrifice everything for the greater good, declares, "Kill me or take me in." And so is born Cassian the Rebel. Thank you to whoever alerted me to the post-credit scene. I'm very grateful you did. We suspected this all along, but seeing that Andor's time in prison was spent building the Death Star, the weapon that eventually leads to his demise, was the final piece of this perfect Star Wars story. Andor works tremendously well for two reasons, and delivers in a way only Star Wars can. The first of these elements is pretty obvious: a deep, emotional telling of a Star Wars story audiences can be entertained by. The second element being the way in which the show has ultimately reflected our own society back at us, and how if we try, heroes can be born. We see ourselves in Brasso, Bix, B2, Melshi, Marva, Kino, Willman and Cassian. They connect with our internal desire to do what's right for the greater good. Star Wars is ultimately about inspiring hope, and Andor, a Star Wars story, is the perfect telling of hope. Andor also embraces the story of revolution, and the show itself could be the catalyst for a revolutionary new way in which future Star Wars shows are crafted and executed. By the time the dust settles on the first season, Andor will no doubt climb to the top of many fans' favourite Star Wars stories. Season 2 can't come quick enough. Thanks for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed the finale and the season as a whole. Be sure to like this video, share your thoughts and theories in the comments, and subscribe to this channel for all our Star Wars adventures.